Welcome to the Grow Your Law Firm podcast, brought to you by Pilma. This podcast helps lead lawyers to more growth, profit, and freedom. Here is your legal marketing expert and host, Ken Hardison.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Ken Hardison, and welcome to another episode of Grow Your Law Firm. And today we have the honor of having Adam Armbruster with Eckstein Summers, Armbruster and Company. I call him ESA, and I call you Adam. Adam, I've known you for, over 20 years, I guess, maybe 25. And it's back when I was practicing and doing a lot of TV advertising, and you were working with one of the stations, and I was talking to you and bouncing things off of you and get some ideas or whatever. So tell us about yourself and your company and what your company does, because you don't just work with lawyers, I know, but lawyers is a big vertical, and I know you deal with a lot of it.
Yeah, sure, Ken, and it's good to be back with you. And it is, I think it's 20 some years, believe it or not. Yeah, everybody, I'm Adam Armbruster, senior partner with ESA. We are a business growth firm. Like Ken mentioned, in most cities, we're sponsored by broadcasters to help you. So we're not an ad agency, we're not for hire. We can collaborate. And we've worked legal for many years. But beyond that, we're in 5 other main verticals. Many of them are service businesses, so we cross-pollinate the thinking from other service industries and come up with third-party ideas and new ideas. So that's our job, is to constantly look at what can be moving the bar for an attorney.
So we tried to do one of these before, and I was somewhere in another hotel, had terrible internet service, and so I wanted to do another one where people can really hear what we got to say. So what do you see? There's so much going on now, changing. What are you seeing the big changes, and what should the lawyers be doing and thinking about because of that?
Well, I'm glad your attorney friends and colleagues can watch these. I think you are the voice for the industry. For attorneys, they tell me they don't know where to start. I tell them, go to this Pilma thing. They're like, what's that? I'm like, you'll be happy you go there. And they always are. So I'm happy to be a small part of that. But I really just, I'm not trying to flatter you. I'm just telling you earned it. And it's a position needed, because starting a law firm is starting a business. And last time I looked, they don't teach business classes in law school. Last time I looked. So, or in med school, my doctor friends tell me the same thing. Suddenly you're a business owner. So, hey, what's changed, Ken? Okay, everything, right? I mean, the Yellow Pages isn't there. Google's in question. Now you got Chat GPT, AI bolting onto search. You got all these new search people coming back in, and they're going to give Google a run. In fact, it's already showing up in the numbers. So here you are, a law firm owner, competing with these big out-of-state guys coming in, competing with FindLaw, competing with Lawyer.com, just to get a client. And then last number I saw was, 90% of people calling don't even hire you. So that's a lot of peddling and not a lot of progress in my world. So I think you're a law firm owner. I think you're a power brand. I think it is about you. I deeply feel they're hiring you as a person, as if you're a political candidate. They're voting for you to solve my legal issue. Ken, right. When you were doing your thing in North Carolina, I didn't see anybody else in that. I saw you, and I think you understood that. They're hiring your ability, but you're competing with these national entities, and frankly, these .coms, and you're competing with Google. Please don't think they're your friend. They'll sell your competition's information to you. That means they'll sell yours to them, and back and forth we go. So you got to fly over that funnel, that search. That first time they grab their iPhone and they go on Google, that's called going down the funnel. If you can get to people before they do that, everything gets better. Conversion, profitability, referral rates, you name it, volume, revenues, profitability, everything gets better. Key is got to get above the funnel. And that's what video does. And video today is live TV, on your big affiliates, your ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and then your streaming video on demand, where you can say, hey, I want these zip codes for my family law practice because that's where all the money is in my town. Okay, where's the money? Oh, it's around the lakes, it's on the waterfronts. They're pretty easy to find usually. I want to be dominant there too. So, but just using video surgically gives you a lot of scale, gives you amazing cost efficiencies. And that's why we use it. I guess if something else worked better, we probably use that.
Yeah.
So we use
And
this.
when you say videos, are you talking about videos on social media too, like TikTok and Facebook, and of course, then you got YouTube shorts and longs and all that kind of stuff. Is that part of the mix?
Yeah, everybody's getting in the shorts business, right? So they're all trying to mirror TikTok. You absolutely want to use it all, but using it doesn't mean giving them money. They're starved for video. I mean, what is YouTube without free videos on it? It would just be a bunch of black boxes with nothing in them. They don't make videos. And people forget that Google owns YouTube. People
Yeah.
forget that Microsoft owns LinkedIn. When you start peeling back the onion, there's like 4 companies that own all this stuff. Snapchat is owned by Facebook. So,
Microsoft has bought a big, I don't know how much, but a nice chunk of Chat GPT, right? And Bing, they're into Bing, right?
I have a prediction that search is going to be sliced and diced like as soon as next year, dramatically, where Apple comes back in to the search business. Microsoft's already coming back in with Bing, supersized Bing, with AI on it.
Yeah.
Amazon, Apple, there's talk that they're going to relaunch the Yahoo brand. I mean, Yahoo should have been Google. They screwed up. They should have been Google, but people still know the Yahoo name. Well, Ken, it's at the point where if you bolt on Chat GPT and AI onto a ham sandwich, it would fly. I mean, that's how powerful this stuff is. And they're already coming out with Chat GPT where, the colleges are going to buy it because it'll vet out the students using Chat GPT to write papers. So
Right.
every industry creates another industry. But for the law firm principal, for you, the owner watching this, you are a power brand, but are you above the funnel? Because here's what I learned. If you're a power brand, video makes you that. Ken, you were a power brand in Raleigh. You were like that big firm. I don't know if you were the biggest one or not, but there was a perception like you were the big firm.
I'm number 2. I was number 2.
All right. Well, I wouldn't have known that with the marketing. You know what I mean? It just looked bigger, so
Yeah.
that gives you a shot at that client. Doesn't mean you get the client, you just get a shot. So the more of a power brand you are, everything gets better. Now you add a value to a power brand. So picture power brand plus value, that equals market share. So if I know you and kind of get what you do, and then you say to me, oh, and if I call you, I get something, that equals market share almost every time. I mean, our track record is 10 to 30% growth for firms we work with. I not kid you. I look at the revenues, I look at the caseload, I look at conversion to case, which usually starts out at 10 points and ends up being like 18% or maybe 30%. I've seen that. So the quality coming in the front door gets a lot better, easier on your staff, easier on everybody, So think about, what you're really trying to do and say, can I get to people before they go down that funnel? That's the mission.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, but here's what I'm hearing lawyers say all the time, Adam, is it's just so expensive to get into, because firms like mine have been doing it for 25 years. They built it up, and now they kind of, the top 3 where used to 20 years ago, I could be number 2 in my market spending $80,000 or $90,000 a month. Now to be number 2, I got to spend $250,000, $300,000 a month. That's a lot. That's a lot more money, right? And think about somebody trying to enter into that market, and get some traction. It just takes so much longer now. Most lawyers they don't have the capital. To be honest with you, I don't know.
There are a lot of owners that won't make that call, but Ken, here's what I've learned doing this a while. In any given city in the United States, I've worked probably 60, 70 cities personally, in person, upside down, left to right, right? In any city, it takes about 30 months to become a household name. And ironically, that isn't so much what you spend. I mean, you got to put the right budget in, but if you spend consistently, television is like compound interest. Every month you do it works harder than the last month, not weaker. It works more because of repeat and familiarity keeps climbing.
Frequency. Yeah.
So if you get on a 3-year plan, start out now, get on a 3-year plan, you might have the highest profile in that market. Now, listen, if Morgan comes in and drops 10 million in your city, Okay, you're not going to be number one. You might be number three. But I think of Tim Wellborn over there in Winston-Salem, who I put on a plan how many years ago at maybe 100 grand a year. And if you go to Winston-Salem, you say Tim Wellborn, oh yeah, that's that law firm. I mean, he works out of a house out in the suburbs. I've been there, a little tiny house, but his perception is up here.
Right.
If you go to Greenville, South Carolina, and you say green law, oh yeah, he's that audit guy. He's the tax guy. Well, I came up with this campaign where he holds up an IRS audit letter and goes, if you got one of these, you need to talk to me right now. That campaign started, I don't know, like 12 years ago, something like that. He's a household name in Greenville. So listen, you're not trying to be a household name in every U.S. household. You're just trying to be a household name in your town.
Right.
It gets you there. But you know, you're loud and clear, Ken. I mean, if you go to Orlando, you better bring a couple $1,000,000 skis with you if you're trying to, if you want to take Morgan out. But I got to tell you, you don't need to take them out. You just need to show up, and there's enough cross traffic between firms, you know. And if yours is a complicated case, some of the big firms don't even want that. They'll toss them back out. You know, so pick a lane you're good at, and get visible. You know, if it's not realistic, I tell law firm owners anyhow, if it's not realistic, I don't want you to do it. I mean, come on, do something else. But if it is realistic and it can be done, we're all in.
Well, I was talking to this media buyer, and he said, well, I say you got to be in the top three. He said, but if you don't at least spending 10% of what the total market's spending, he said, I don't see how you can make any imprint, you know, any lasting imprint. I don't know if that's true or not, because that's just one guy's opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like he said, if there's, you know, 7 million being spent a year, then you need to spend, which of course those numbers are never right because they're always inflated. So say if it says 7 million, it's probably like 6 million. Then it means you got to spend 600,000 a year. And like you say, do it, you know, which means that's 50 a month, which is not that much money now. I mean, it is and it's not. I mean, when I started, I got a $500,000 line of credit in 1996 and went out and did it. I mean, on a prayer. I mean, you know, I mortgaged everything I had because back then there was no money. Banks wouldn't loan you money. There was no hedge funds that would loan you money. There was no Esquire Bank or Advocate Capital. I mean, there just wasn't none of these companies were out there. And so I just had to mortgage everything I had worked for 14 years practicing law the hard way and gamble it all, you know, and it worked, but it could have not worked too, right? You know.
Oh, but the great thing working with attorneys is all you guys, men, ladies watching this, you're smart people. All right. You're not going to get put over a barrel by any media rep, or it's not going to happen. You're smart people. If it makes sense to you, it's probably right. If it doesn't sound right, it probably isn't right. Betting the farm, Ken, you had to think in your heart of hearts, it's probably right.
Yeah.
There's always a chance it didn't go right. Okay. But you know, I'm going to talk to a lot of people. A lot of people need attorneys. I'm going to be the loudest guy in the town. How wrong could it go? I mean, it's going to be good. It could be great. So that's what I say to people. Like, you know, most folks I bump into, Ken, they are spending real money. They're just spending it in Google cost per click, fine law, direct mail, events. You know, they're doing all the festivals and they're trying to be of the people. That's great stuff. There's a simple strategy called the global local. Coca-Cola uses this. Like you see them all over the Olympics and TV, and you see all these ads. And then you go to the county fair and there's a Coke logo on some sign. That's global local. What they did was they removed all the redundancy in between. They used video to get big scale, and then they worked the ground game. My nephew is one of the top guys with Coca-Cola in his region, one of the top sales guys. And it's all about turf war because they know corporate's got the marketing covered with the TV.
Right.
So if your TV's bombing your town and you're working the festivals, the events, you're visible, you're out there, speak at Kiwanis, you know, speak at Rotary. As soon as you see Esquire, you know, they know what you do. You'll be global local. That is a really smart play today. The wrong play, in my personal opinion, is feeding Google like a dumpster fire money. Meanwhile, they are taking your money and they are handing your stuff to FindLaw. FindLaw is taking that money, turn around, buying cost per click in your market to get more traffic, competing with you. So right. You end up paying you end up competing with your vendors. I don't know how you win that one.
Yeah.
And now they're going to put AI on local service Ken. They're going to put AI on that, which is going to make it smarter, which is going to make it even more expensive. It'll probably convert better, to
On local service ads, we're putting AI on that.
They're going to go AI on that, so it's going to get smarter and better, but you can sure as hell know that it's not going to be cheaper, right? So you'll get fewer leads, higher quality. They're going to charge you more. And I think this way: if they got to Google to find Hardison Law, why couldn't Hardison Law just go find them first before they go to Google? Wouldn't that be better? And you know what? It is. It shows up in all the math.
Yeah. There's
a reason why Google spends, I think they spend about $600 million a year in TV ads, something like that.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? So don't believe the PR. Watch what these tech giants do. They bomb television nationally to get the traffic.
I always believed this too, especially back when I was doing it, that TV made a lot of these lawyers lazy doing the local stuff because they just say, I'll just throw some more money at it, or I'll go throw some more money at Google, or I'll go throw some more money at TV. And I think that, when I was doing it, we had 32 different things we were doing all the time. And if some of them cost us nothing, but we were doing, like you said, the festivals.
Mm-hmm.
We were putting books out at doctors' offices.
Yep.
We were speaking at clubs. We were doing talk show radio. Direct mail. We were doing so many little things, little gatherings for our clients, appreciation days, client advocacy board, like a advisory board of directors. We were just doing all this other ground stuff. And I think that's why we got a really good return on our overall investment, because we weren't just throwing more money at TV. We were trying to do a little bit of everything, I didn't know what it was called. I think it's what it was called. I was doing global local, but I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
You were just feeling your way down the hallway at night
with
the lights out.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was, because there wasn't any film around when I was doing it. It was all trial and error, and
oh my gosh,
helping people like you and picking other lawyers' brains that would talk to me in other states.
Well, if you think about it, your TV made you familiar.
Yeah.
So generally, they knew this guy Ken. He looks familiar, and then they meet you, and they don't equate it right away. But believe me, there's a reason they sense something about you when they meet you in person, or hear you speak, or they go to an event like that. That's global local. That's what you're doing. The efficiency of video like greases the tracks for all that. And the cool thing about working, again, attorneys, such smart individuals, is you will figure this out. You'll just figure it out with using your own money. Over time, you will figure it out. I just say though, like, why wait 5 years to figure it out and burn up a couple $1,000,000? Here's a playbook that works. You don't like it, don't use it. But I'm telling you, it's a playbook that works. Use it. And my job is to help people use it, as far as writing the concepts, things like that. I've come up with exclusives for attorneys. I want people to have to call you, not maybe call you. And
Right.
Exclusives help that. You did it with books, Ken, you do it with information. There's other things we're using now. Don't forget QR codes. People have understood now what they are. After all this time, they finally figured out that they can use these things.
Yeah, COVID helped us with that.
Yeah.
It really brought them back, I think.
Yeah, it just,
restaurants, things like that.
And candidly, too, they work better. I mean, they used to be kind of clunky and loaded slowly, and now the phones got better, so everything's kind of moving along. But you want to just engage people right away. And the more you can keep them out of those funnels, the FindLaw, Lawyer.com, Google funnels, where they're going to get like sucked in by somebody, the better you're going to do.
Yeah.
And that's just called being a power brand, right? Here you go again. They have to see you before they start moving their feet.
What do you think?
I see it, Ken. Go ahead.
What do you think about radio? Can you do that? Can that help you be a powerhouse?
Yeah, I think you can use it and mirror. I try to, if someone says I'm strong on, this talk radio station, and what I try to mirror the scheduling with TV to not fight it, but to enhance both.
Right.
But, a good live audience on radio, 5,000, 8,000 people, that's a good group of people. But the TV thing, 20,000, 30,000 are more like normal sizes audiences, much larger. So it adds an element, but try to sequence it together. That's what I do.
And you were talking about Apple getting into search, but I thought Apple had a deal with Google.
Yeah, and it's
you
renewed
every last time.
Yeah, Ken, and they basically are getting paid by Google to stay on the sidelines, 20 billion a year, which is a whole lot of money to do nothing. I want that deal.
Yeah.
But the total search market is 100 billion. So let me ask you a question. iPhone sales have peaked. In fact, they just reported that phone sales are down a little bit. I think we're over the camel hump there on we all got one. If we're going to get one, we got one by now. All right.
Right.
That's half the phones in the United States are iPhones, and sales are going down currently. How long would Apple sit on the sideline taking 20 billion a year when the whole market's worth 100 billion? And that deal's renewed every year. This is not some multi-year deal. So they're 12 months away at any time from saying, why don't we get into the search business? We got this Safari search engine that we're not using. Why don't we bolt AI and ChatGPT on that? And by the way, we get all the data from the iPhones, which is really good data. It is. It's probably the best in mobile is iPhone data.
Yeah.
Why would they stay on the side? That's the question. So for all the smart attorneys watching this, if you're Apple, are you staying on the sidelines for 20 or are you taking a shot at 50? I think I'd go for the 50.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Google's already going down because Bing, Amazon, they're chipping away at the ad dollars in there. The search alone is $100 billion. That's a lot of money to watch go by every year if your phone sales are going down. So I'm just pretending I'm Tim Cook going, what would I do? And that's what I'd do. I'd say, hey, Google, thanks. It's been great. But guess what? Now we're in the same business. Hang on to your hat, you know? So before that happens, I'm recommending all these law firm owners get out there. This could change in a blip, you know, hockey stick type thing.
Yeah, I think AI is going to change. You like you said. I mean, it's faster than people said it's going to be fast, but I mean, it's really what you're telling me. It's going faster than we even expected.
It's gonna really eliminate low tech operators from people that embrace technology. I embrace tech. I'm kind of a geek out on it. You know, I don't pretend to know all the ones and O's behind everything, but
Right.
it makes my life simpler. Why would I deny that? You know, so like content production, you could sit and write your books, Ken, or you'd say, hey, write me a book about motorcycle accidents that happened only in Tampa in the last 12 months. Write me an article. Okay, in 30 seconds, you have an article to send your clients.
Yeah.
Does that save you some time? Instead of spending the weekend writing an article? So that just the pace of delivery of content will be so helpful. You guys are in the information business. You know, you just happen to be attorneys, but you're really in the information business. So this will be your friend.
Yeah, I think, that's what we were actually at a mastermind meeting, and this lawyer, he was pulled out, we were talking about it. He pulled out, I said, it can outline. I said, you could go on ChatGPT and say, give me the 12 chapters headings for a book on auto accidents in South Carolina and how to avoid getting screwed by the insurance companies or something like that. Mm-hmm. He does that, and it's sitting there popping it out. In like 2 minutes, it's got the whole book laid out chapter by chapter with the headings. And then I said, then you can take these headings and go there and ask it to write the chapter. I said, you're going to have to work on it. But it took me, 40, 50 hours to write one of these little 50-page books that I did. Whereas with ChatGPT, I could probably do it in 2 hours. Seriously.
See, people are afraid it's going to replace their brain. It's not. It's going to turbocharge your brain. It's not going to replace your brain. This isn't a brain. It's a scraping the internet faster tool. That's what ChatGPT is. It scrapes. Candidly, to me, Ken, it's what Google was supposed to be until they hijacked it and started selling ads all over it and diverting you and making gobs of money. 70 billion, I think they pull a year.
Yeah.
That's what Google's supposed to be, scraping the internet and giving you the information you want. And it kind of started out that way, but quickly they got dollar signs in their eyes. So that's why I think there's going to be a major upheaval in this whole thing. I just don't want to be a victim of it, helping clients find lawyers and helping lawyers find clients. I don't want to get in between that. If these tech giants go to war, it's like elephants fighting and, the ants get stomped on. So when the elephants start fighting, get the hell out of the way. That's my tip.
They've already started, really. I mean, because really, Apple started when they kind of closed down on their iPhones, right? I mean,
yes, in May of 21, they automatically turned off auto share of your data with apps. And that's why every time you open an app, it says, please, please, please let us have your data. And you say, no, 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 most of the time. Most people do. They're earning their way back in slowly by adding exclusives. Well, you're only going to get this from me now if you say I can have your data. Then people are breaking down a little bit. But I'm still a pretty private guy. I'm still like, nah, I don't need it that bad. I don't think I need my data flying around or my camera on
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
Somebody just reported, and Google, Elon Musk made a comment. Someone said what the WhatsApp app on their phone kept turning their microphone back on every 5 minutes. And Elon Musk in Twitter the other day goes, they can't be trusted. All right, so you have the number one tech guy in the world saying WhatsApp can't be trusted. You might want to listen to him. So I think there's going to be a pushback on this privacy thing. You know, I'm in Florida, Ken. Our governor just signed a big bill down here on legal marketing, by the way, too, and also on privacy. He's not kidding around. He's kind of busting them. So you're going to see that spread. I think now 4 states have this privacy bill put out. Well, that just means all your digital marketing is going to keep getting hamstrung.
Yeah.
But you're going to end up figuring this out on your own anyhow, going, I got to get above the funnel then, don't I? Yeah. So I say do it now. Don't wait until the funnel dries up.
Cool. And you think the best way, if you were telling a lawyer, what's the top 3 things you need to do to stay above the funnel?
One, use a ton of video, live and streaming. But as you said earlier, Ken, take those same videos and use every free video platform you get your hands on. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. LinkedIn's owned by Microsoft. Follow the money trail. They all need video. They're begging for it. And if you put it out there, you'll see it fly around. They'll push it all over the place. You know, top 10 things to think about in a car accident, little 60-second video, right? That'll fly all over the world. It'll go all over the world. Have a singular message, be known for something like strong. Like a lot of my guys, like I'm only family law. Okay, I'm only men's only family law. Like pick a lane. Even if it's just auto, pick a lane, you know, and go vertical like that.
I call it a unique selling proposition.
I
always say people, you got to answer this question. Why should I pick your law firm over every damn body out there that I see all over the airways? Why should I pick you over everybody else? If you can't answer that question, you got a problem. That's
right. And if you're not offering up to them, shame on us. I mean, it's not the client's job to figure all that out. It's our job to tell them.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree. Yeah.
I've got a lot of attorneys, these young bucks coming into the business. There's a guy in Cleveland we just put on. We shot him standing in front of every iconic visual in Cleveland. He looks like he owns the city. He's probably the youngest attorney on TV, but he's just standing there in front of the Cleveland Browns stadium. He's standing there like, I'll fight for you. And he's going to make it. If he stays visible in 3 years, he'll be a household name. So it's just, you know, I just say start now. Don't wait until this whole thing dries up, this whole search thing, and gets super expensive and everybody's sitting there wringing their hands.
Yeah.
Control your destiny, you know, control your market.
So, okay. Videos and differentiate and repurpose the videos you got everywhere. Okay. That makes sense.
I put every video out that I put out, I put it on every platform, and I'm stunned with how much traffic it gets. You know, if you put in TV advertising expert into Google right now, I think you'll see me come up in the #1 organic position. And you want to hear something surprising? I don't pay them anything. That's how starved they are for content, Ken.
Yeah.
A guy like me.
You know what you're doing there. So here's something I want to ask you. I'm thinking about doing this myself, but you know, they've got this new stuff out now where you can create your own avatar. It's something that looks just like you, right? Speaks and that. I'm actually getting one made of me.
Wow.
It costs about $3,600 and you can run about an hour a month videos off of it. And I don't want to play with it because, just to be honest with you, you know, time is money. And if I can get this avatar to say, just, you know, we type up something, give them to him and let him say it and then make videos, why not? I mean, I don't know. You think, it might not be the same personal approachability, but I don't know.
Well, as good as it is now, and I've seen a few and they're getting really good, give it 6 months. It doesn't take these guys long to buff it up. I mean, once they get on a track, they buff it up pretty quickly. I mean, to me, it's just, if it saves you time and content, just typing in a script and having virtual Ken walk them through it. I don't know how bad that is. I mean, what's the difference of that or watching you on a Zoom? I mean, it's all just pixels,
That's
so
true. That's true.
I think you still have to be a person and all that. I don't, so that's what I mean. You don't let tech run away. You make it your pet, how
Yeah.
can this serve me? Not,
That's
replace me.
the question. How can I use this to make my life easier or make automate, compress, and make things more efficient and make things, quicker, cheaper, better? Because let's face it, there's a big problem out there with finding people in law firms that want to work, paralegals, lawyers.
Mhm.
And so if you can compress that with AI, plus a lot of people are going offshore. Just to be honest with you, I got loads of lawyers that are hiring people from Mexico, Philippines, Pakistan. Hey, listen, I've got 3 people working for me from Pakistan, $800 a month, and they're video editors, graphic artists, web guys, know how to do web development, and I'm getting them for $800 a month.
Yeah.
And they work, and they're good, and they show up, and they're happy. But if you take that and then put AI with that, my God, you could cut your overhead. Then you would have somebody go spit on TV.
That's my point. Is what's it going to replace first? Process. Well, what are process jobs? Well, you probably know what those are. So whoever's just processing information, you're going to be replaced by a processor. It's going to be a little square chip. Yeah. Sorry, that's where it's going. So, work on job skills, work on people skills. People skills don't get replaced. So ability to present, ability to run a company, motivate, organize, and then have the processor back there moving paperwork around. Okay, but you're right, a massive cost savings for a law firm. And that should go into the marketing budget, in my opinion. Of course, I'm from the marketing side, so I want
well, me too, that's my love. Yeah. You got to have the other to make it work, but I love the marketing. I like the management, but I love the marketing, but you got to have both if you're going to be successful.
Yeah. Great marketing doesn't run a law firm, but vice versa. Law firm's nothing without people coming through the front door. And that's why you see this changing of the guard going on. These young guys and ladies coming in, Ken, they do understand the need for marketing, but they are trying to figure out where to start. That's why I keep selling Pilma. Like, at least watch some of his videos, at least read some of his stuff, at least pull the guardrails in a little bit for you so you don't go jumping all around. He'll focus you, That's what I tell people about Pilma.
Yeah, because there's always somebody, I haven't practiced in 15 years. I still get 2 calls a week, somebody trying to sell me something. No lie. I still get it. And they still getting up, emailing me stuff like all the time. It's every day.
That's never going to change.
No, it's not. It's not.
But, just a quick shout out to your attorneys. I mean, you put it all on the line. You really are. And don't try to figure it out with money and time. Work with good people. I try to be good at what I do. Ken, you're very good at what you do. Work with good people that have a good intention to help you. Don't just keep trying stuff out. I promise you, other smart attorneys have tried it out and figured it out already. Time's a wasting, get some good help.
Yeah. Good words of wisdom. Always. So you can learn by trial and error. You can learn from somebody else. And I'd rather it's cheaper to learn from somebody else. Either their failures or their successes. It's a lot cheaper.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So, I guess if anybody wanted to talk to you or whatever, what's the best way for them to get up with you, Adam? You got your email, Adam at esaroi.com.
That's it. Adam at esaroi.com. And if you shoot me an email and you're in a city where we're already sponsored, we may already have a sponsor in your market or a complimentary service in that regard. So it works out pretty well. So we'd love to hear from you. I love helping attorneys. It's a great, obviously one of our top 5 categories numerically, but most importantly, there's just great people. Honestly, I find attorneys and car dealers amazing business people. Really do give back, really do get involved. So I like helping these folks out. I really do. I enjoy it.
Yeah, good deal. Well, thank you so much for taking time and coming back. And this has been good, man. It's been good. Great stuff. And
all right, great, Ken.
Appreciate you doing.
You have been listening to the Grow Your Law Firm podcast, the podcast that leads lawyers to more growth, profit, and freedom. Go to growyourlawfirm.com to find more ways to market and manage your law firm. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcasts.